What does the term Avatara mean? We all know, very commonly we translate that in English as incarnation, right? Incarnation. Incarnation just means that you are bringing a carnal form. That is, you are bringing a human form. That is what incarnation means. But that doesn't define Avatara. Anyone could be taking a human form. In the Puranas, we know Rakshasas also have taken human forms. Right? So, just incarnation is not good enough to explain Avatara. Avatara, the concept is a descent. Avatarana. The process of descending from somewhere. The opposite of that is Uddharana. So now you will understand. Uddharana, we use that term very often. We know that term very often. Krishna himself says, Uddharet Atmanatmanam. You have to uplift yourself. So it is about uplifting oneself. So if it is about uplifting oneself, what does Avatarana mean then? Is it about downgrading oneself? No. In some way, yes. Somebody is coming down. When it's coming down, what do you mean? Generally, understanding is coming down from some loka to bhuloka. That is the common understanding. Some higher up plane, they come down to bhuloka. That is the physical manifestation. But in essence, the descent is happening from a higher level of consciousness to a lower level of consciousness. Now the biggest question is why? Why will somebody want to come down? We are all striving to go up the ladder. Why will somebody want to come down? That somebody comes down because of immense compassion. Only reason. The only reason why somebody will come down is because of immense compassion. Karuna. So every avatara has to be a Karunya Rupa. By default. However they manifest themselves is different. But by definition, if it is an avatara, it is Karunya Murti. For sure. Now the purpose of an avatara. The purpose of an avatara is very beautifully described in the few shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. In the 4th chapter, where Krishna begins by saying that this great knowledge of Brahma Vidya I gave to the Sun, Sun gave it to Manu, Manu gave it to Ikshvaku, and he keeps describing that. At that time, Arjuna is asking this question, Krishna, you and me were friends from childhood. We all grew up together. But now you are saying you have given something to the Sun. Sun has given to Ikshvaku and Manu and all who have lived years before us. I don't understand this logic. That is when Krishna says, you cannot fathom what I am. Don't go by this physical form. Because it is an avatara, he tells the Avatara Rahasya in that chapter. And very beautifully you can correlate to how Swami has simplified the same thing in different sayings of his. Krishna says, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna tanyaham veda sarvani natvam veta parantapa. Many births have I had and you have had. I know all my births. You don't know your births. Swami says the same thing. You and me are God. I know I am. You don't know you are. So this concept of avatara happens for 3 reasons. Krishna gives 3 reasons why an avatara should happen. The very famous shlokas, all of you know about it. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srjamyaham. The first is he's saying, whenever dharma glani, dharma goes down and adharma arises, I will manifest myself. Again, now he gives 3 reasons why he will manifest. Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkritam, dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami. 3 reasons. The beauty of this shloka is that, see, when we say dharma, what do you mean by dharma? There are so many definitions of dharma, right? Somebody thinks it is duty, somebody thinks it is righteousness. If you say in some other place, if you say dharam, they will say it is religion. Various definitions of dharma. But when in our Shastras they mention dharma, especially in the Gita, dharma is only one, that is Sanatana Dharma. And when you say Sanatana Dharma, it is the eternal dharma. It cannot be confined in the concept of a religion that we see today. Religion is called as mata. Mata means opinion. It is an opinion of a leader with followership. That is a mata. Dharma is not the opinion of one person. Sanatana Dharma is not the opinion of one person. It is not the opinion of our Krishna or not the opinion of Rama or Shiva that we are following. It is an eternal dharma that has been going on for ages and ages and ages. And everybody has been following that, including Rama, Krishna, Shiva, everyone. Nobody is outside of this dharma. Everybody is adherent to this dharma. This is the dharma that is universal in nature, because nowhere in the Vedas, which forms the basis of our dharma, it says that the Vedas are for people living in Bharatavarsha, for people living in India, for people of certain characteristics. No. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu is a Vedic verse. What does samasta lokaha mean? The entire universe. That means the Vedas are universal in nature. And the dharma based on the Vedas is the Vedika dharma or Sanatana dharma. That alone is dharma. But when this dharma goes down, means what? What happens? How can dharma go down? We say it is Sanatana. It will always be there. And suddenly we say it is going down. How does it go down? Something that is always there, how can it go down? Dharma will always be there, but the nuance here is that dharma lies in its practice. That is why the Vedas say Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara, not Dharmam Vada. You need not keep talking about dharma. You practice dharma. Because dharma lives only through practice. You don't need to say anything. If you are practicing, the others will see you and practice. And dharma will live on. So, whatever is there in the Vedas, they've already said. Now we have to practice what is being said. Acharana. Achara prabhavo dharmaha. Achara is the most important. So when we say dharma goes down, dharma glani happens means what? People practicing it have reduced. Lesser people are practicing it. More people are not practicing it. They have forsaken practicing of dharma. That is the meaning of dharma glani. That is when dharma goes down. And adharma is going up, means there are a lot of obstacles to the practice of dharma. More challenges to the practice of dharma. Now, the people who are practicing dharma, the term used by Krishna here is sadhu. Sadhu doesn't mean a sannyasi here. Sadhu does not mean somebody who has renunciated everything. No. Anyone who practices dharma is the sadhu. Because he or she is the light for everyone behind. Right from our home, when we practice, our children see it. They practice. Every home does this, every child sees it, the next generation is already doing it. In the school, the teacher is practicing, the students see it. In the community, we are practicing something, everybody sees it. That is the way dharma has to go on and keep living. The people who are practicing that are the sadhus, whoever they are. They are all sadhus. All those people who practice have to be protected. Paritranaya sadhuna. They have to be the ones who are to be protected, because if they are not protected, dharma will not be protected anymore. Now, why they are not able to practice dharma at times because there are obstacles to it. People are creating obstacles to it. All of us can understand that very well in today's times. What does creating an obstacle to dharma mean? Those who are creating these obstacles, whoever they are termed dushkritas. You don't have to commit the highest sin or papa to be called a dushkrita. If you are obstructing dharma, you are a dushkrita. Because you, by the prevention of dharma, you are automatically propagating adharma. That is naturally going to happen because adharma is natural. You automatically want to go to adharma. Doing dharma needs more discipline. So the once you stop practice of dharma, adharma will automatically start rising. So I have to protect the sadhus. At the same time, I have to remove away the harmful elements who are obstructing the practice of dharma. Once these two happen, dharma is going to start flourishing automatically. Dharma samsthapanarthaya. The third element, while dharma will continue to flourish, from time to time, we have to rightfully interpret that dharma, because over time it could start getting interpreted in some way. Some misunderstanding, misinformation, and all of these things could come. That is why Krishna uses the term samsthapana. It is not dharma sthapana. Dharma sthapana is establishing dharma. Establishing dharma the right way, samyak sthapana, samsthapanarthaya. So that is the motive of every avatara. Every avatara is coming to do only these three things. To protect dharma, to save it from adharma, and to rightfully tell what is dharma to people. That alone is the motive of every avatarana. In the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, there is a beautiful framework they give for avataras, and that is worth really thinking about. How to think about avataras? They say avatars are of 5 categories. The first is called as para. Second is called as vyuha. Third is called as vibhava. Fourth is called as antaryami, and fifth is called as archa. I will explain what these are to make it simpler. Para is the supreme being. Okay, there is, all of us know there is some force that has created this world, that is sustaining this world. Nobody has seen that. But we all believe that there should be some higher power who is doing all this. You could call it Brahman, you could call it Ishvara, whatever you call it. That is para. Paravatara. Parapa aspect of avatara. Now to do different functions, there is a delegation into or formation of devatas. Like you say that Brahma means creation. Vishnu means sustenance, Rudra means destruction. Then you will have for Saraswati, for Lakshmi, for Durga, we have this different concept, right? The different devatas for different specific purposes. That is the vyuha. That is an aspect of that supreme being's force has manifested in different forms to perform different things. But they are also at some level, you cannot see them. Right? You are not able to see them as a human form, but you are maybe able to experience them. You are able to feel them within you at some point of time, etc. Then there is an aspect of manifestation in human form. That is called as vibhava. When the supreme force manifests as a human form, daivam manushya rupena, right? That is where all these avatars, be it Rama or Krishna or all, they have walked this earth at some point of time. They are all Manushya avataras. They are all Vibhava. Then is an aspect of Antaryami. Antaryami is that the Ishvara present in each one of us. There is Ishvara who has manifested within all of us as the Atman, as the Self. That is the Antaryami. And the fifth and the most beautiful of all this is Archavatara. Were all of us there when Rama manifested? No. Thousands, maybe so many years ago. Krishna manifested? No. How do we get that anubhava of Rama or Krishna today? How do we get that? We were not there when Rama or Krishna manifested here. We were lucky when Swami was there. Many of us could see him. But there are many who wouldn't have even had the darshan of Swami. But still that experience will be there to them now. How does that come?
By listening to his stories.
By listening and by having an object to focus on. That is called Archavatara. So, Rama nobody has seen, but when you go to Bhadrachala and you see that Murti of Rama, you get an experience there. That Murti becomes your focus. That Murti becomes the reason for you to experience. When you go to Pandharpura, that Vithala has inspired so many saints and santas. Vithala manifested after the Murti manifested. It was not that Vithala first came in human form and then the Murti came. No. The Murti has been there. The Murti has been worshipped by the santas. Then they experienced Vithala in human form also. But that Murti was their crux, their focus was the Murti. Similarly, Guruvayur, that Murti is enough for the Bhaktas. So Bhakti begins with that Murti or that Vigraha, and that is called Archavatara. Without that Archavatara, none of us can be doing Bhakti today. Because not all of us get the opportunity to be in the presence of a human form all the time. Even that human form will leave us one day. Then what do we do? So you need something to hold on. The Archavatara could be in the form of a book. The Ramayana has inspired so many. You see Rama through the Ramayana. You see Shirdi Sai through the Satcharita. You have not been there when Shirdi Sai was there, but you are seeing him through the Satcharita. You are seeing Swami through his Vahinis. How? Through those videos, everything. That is not the human form, but they are all Archavataras. They are all some objects to hold on. This also includes the Vibhutis. You go to the Ganga, you get the experience. You go to the Himalayas, you get that experience. You go to Chitravati, you get that experience. You go to Pandharpura on that Chandrabhaga, you get that experience. So everything that manifests here is Archavatara. And among all these avatars, that is the first thing for us to hold on. Because that is where our dharma and bhakti really begin. You look at Tirupati Venkatesha, Balaji. Devesha Pujita Bhagavata Dinakara Koti Prakashavata Govindam Sura Brandam Guru Guhanandam Mukundam Shri Venkata Girisha Malokaye Vinayaka Turagarudam Shri Venkata Girisha Malokaye. Behold that Venkata Girisha. Annamaya sang when he first saw that Gopura. Adivo Alladivo Shri Harivasamu Padivela Seshula Padagalamayamo Adivo Alladivo Shri Harivasamu. He had not even seen Venkatachalapati then. He just saw the Gopuram and he was completely out of ecstasy. That there is that Lord who is sitting there. I see that Gopuram. That is how the Bhaktas saw. For them, for Annamaya, everything was Venkatesha. When you come to our own Maharashtra, you have the Varkari Sampradaya. Of course, that is a topic in itself. When you start there, you cannot come out of it. So I don't want to go too deep into it. But Vithala, what has that Murti not given to the Santas? Sundarate Dhyana Ubhe Vitevari Sundarate Dhyana Ubhe Vitevari Karakatavari Tehuliya Sundarate Dhyana Ubhe he is speaking about the physical form. Karakatavari Thevuniya, but who? The dhyana. The dhyana itself is manifested as Vithala. It is that meditation itself that is standing there. It is not a stone that is standing there. That is not how they saw it. Otherwise, how will Vithala come and play with Namadeva, talk to Namadeva, do all the household chores of Janabai and all these people? How could he do that? Because the Archavatara was only the starting point. They went much beyond that. They went to the extent of saying, Adhirachili Pandhari Magavai Kuntanagari Jevhanavate Chara Chara Tevha Hote Pandharapura Jevhanavatya Goda Ganga Tevha Hoti Chandra Bhaga Chandra Bhage Se Tati Dhanya Pandhari Gomati Adhirachini Pandhari Maga Vaikuntha Nagari. Vaikuntha did not come first. Pandhari came first. South and Vishnu have come first. No, Vithala only came first. So Vithala is not an incarnation of Vishnu. We are not ready to accept that. Right? Pandharipuram came first. Chandrabhaga came first. Then maybe the Vaikuntha and Ganga and Goda, all those things that you talk about may have come later on. See, that is the drishti of the bhakta. That is the Amrita drishti. The one beautiful aspect that happens after the deities, who are also avatars, are Mahatmas, whom generally we don't put under the category of the deities, but they are the bigger avatars because they are the ones who are showing us the God also sometimes. Without them, we don't even get to that God. And that Mahatma Parampara, we have a Ratha here, right? While the concept of it, the Ratha is to take Swami everywhere, but to me, it signifies the Avatara Parampara. That Ratha means what? It is flow of time. It is flowing. Ratha is constantly moving. This Ratha has been moving right from Brahman till here. It has been constantly moving and this Ratha continues to move. Coming to Swami. As I said, Swami was definitely smart enough to say that I don't want to come with all these paraphernalia. But his is an Avatara which is distinguished from the other avatars. Many of the other avatars were Jnana avatars, like Ramana Maharshi, pure Jnana. You go into the Jnana Marga, you go there, that's all. Even if you talk miracles, he will say, forget it, it is not real. So that is Jnana Marga. Then you had the orthodoxy, right? The traditional paramparas where you had Mahapariyava, Chandrasekhara Saraswati, Chandrasekhara Bharati, they came in the orthodox Shankara paramparas. But you needed someone, after Vivekananda, you needed someone to be the universal Guru. To say that, yes, there is Sanatana Dharma, but there is a way you can enter it. There is a way you can go through the ladders, and then there is a way that you can sustain yourself also in that Dharma without necessarily being in the Jnana Marga or being an orthodox. Not required. How do we bring that together? That needed a different kind of avatara. That is where Swami came. Swami came with his power of Maya. He came with Ishvara, with Brahman and Maya together. That is why you see the beginning of an induction into the Satya Sai thought process. For many people it is a miracle has happened. Swami is using it at his beginning point, the starting point. Bhajans. We love the bhajans. We love to sing those bhajans. Swami says, good, sing. Sing those bhajans. But at some point, think what you are singing. See, you want to go to the other side through bhajans. Bhajan as a sadhana. When do you want to use that? He said seva, service, important. So people said, yes, we need to help. Manava seva, Madhava seva. Began. Then Swami said, don't just remain at the top level. See if your ego is getting effaced by service. Because that is the concept of service. That should be again used in your spiritual sadhana. He announced his Avatara. He never said at that point of time, all of you should learn Rudram Chamakam. He didn't say that. Because that was not the point to say it. When people came into the fold, he said, now Vedas are important. Chant the Rudram Chamakam. Because Vaidika Dharma is what he has come for. And then finally he comes to the Jnana Marga. So that is why even among the Vahinis, Jnana Vahini is probably the last one which we generally will touch. Here also we are happy with the Ramayana, Rama Vahini or the Gita Vahini, Dharma Vahini. It's all nice, good to read. Jnana Vahini, no, not now. We'll come later. Swami says, fine, not now, but sometime please come. That is why I have come for. So the beauty is that starting with these points and then taking the Bhakta to Jnana. So if you look at the speeches of Swami, at some points that Jnana will reflect, Jnana will come. The point is, are we catching it? Have we reached there? When we say, or when we sing, Ishwaramba Priyanandana, son of Ishwaramba, Sai Jaya Jagavandana. How did he become Jaya Jagavandana? Ishwaramba's son. How did he become so popular in the world? Ratnakara Kula Bhushana. Born in the Ratnakara Kula. Rajivanayana Narayana. He is Narayana himself. So don't get wavered by the fact that he was born into a small family, he was born in this place. Yes, important. But as I said, he's beyond all that. When are we going to look at that aspect? Sadguru Brahma Sanatana He Paramadayagana Pavana He Janmaja Dukha Vinashana He Jagatodharana Karana He Sai Krishna Janardana He Bhava Bhaya Jaladhi Tarana He Bhava Bhaya Jaladhi Tarana He Sadguru Brahma, Supreme Brahma, Sanatana, Parama Daya Ghana. I said in the beginning, the Avatara is Karuna Ghana. Karuna, compassion only. Otherwise, Avatara cannot come without compassion. The Daya, Ghana. Ghana means condensed form of Daya. If Daya is only there, there is not even one space without Daya. Parama Daya Ghana Pavana He. Janmaja Dukkha Vinashana He. Janmaja Dukkha, all the dukkhas that have been born from this Janma. Vinashana, one who can destroy it. Jagato Dharana, one who has come to resurrect, rejuvenate his entire Jagat. Jagato Dharana Karana He, Sai Krishna Janardana He. You are that Krishna, you are that Janardana, you are that Supreme Being. Bhava Bhaya Jaladhi Tarana He. You are the one who can protect me, who can make me cross that samsara. Are we seeing Swami as that? When we sing this, are we crying to Swami to say, take me through the samsara? Or are we happy just singing it and leaving it? I'm saying that at some point it must hit. Bhava Bhaya Jaladi Tarana He. When are you going to take me across the samsara? That is when Swami will manifest as that Avatara. Else he will remain in your, as Krishna says, Ye Yathamam Prapadyante. If you want to see me as the photo, I will remain as the photo. If you want to see me as the person doing miracles, I will remain there. You want to see me as the one who likes bhajans, I will remain there. If you see me as that Sarveshwara, I will be there. So it is on you to manifest that Sai that you want to manifest. That Sai is there as all of this, as Para, as Vyuha, as Vibhava, as Antaryami, as Archa. He is there as the Supreme Brahman. He is there as all the Devatas. He has come in the human form. He is there within all of us. And He is also present today in the various Archavataras as videos or photos or memories that you have, or bhajans, anything, or the vigrahas you see when you go to Parthi or Dharmakshetra and all these places. He is there as all of it. But what is the use you are going to make of it? To manifest this Sai in your lives is the purpose of the Avatara and is the Avatara Rahasya.